Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, as always, the AfroMattt. This is episode 119 of these fabulous episodes. Thank you for listening. If you're a longtime viewer, thank you for your continued support. If you're brand new here, welcome. Strap in. It's going to be a ride. I am not completely wasted, but I am drunk. So we'll see how it goes. We just had our office where I work just had Wine Down Wednesday. So yeah, I got a little lit. The tab was on the boss, so I ran up a couple mojitos, so yeah, we're rolling here. I'm a little bit drunk. I did not drive home. Thankfully, my girlfriend drove me home. She came and picked me up from the office, and so we're chilling. We're doing the podcast. I hope I think I'm lucid enough to go through it, but we'll see where it goes from here. Yeah, I feel like, top of the podcast, good news to deliver. There have been no shootings recently. Usually every week I start off with the shooting of the week, but there has been no like mass shooting casualties that I know of. There hasn't been any that popped up on the news. So that's I guess that's good news. That is good news, but it's sad that we actually have to address it, because there is one every week. Last week there was some mall shooting, unfortunately, in Texas or whatever. So this week we have been shooting free. So that is good news. Good news. So let's get right into the news. Speaking of news, let's get right into it. So here we go. The news. News time. The news. All right. Boom. All right. So let's get right into the news then. So this is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day was this weekend, and boy, do I have a feel-good news story for Mother's Day. Mother and son caught racing each other at 80 miles per hour on Mother's Day. This was on Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms out there racing their children. A mother and son were cited for reckless driving after they were caught racing each other on Mother's Day. According to Fresno police officers, the street racing team spotted two vehicles racing each other and clocked them in at 80 miles per hour each. It's a little slow. I think that's a little slow for a street race. I mean, depends on, I feel like if you're racing each other on the highway, 80 is I go home at 80, but if you're going in a school zone popping off at 80, more power to you, especially if it's your son. Does it say here who won? Who won the street race? If you are engaging in illegal street racing and or sideshow activity, we will impound your vehicle for 30 days. Fresno is not the place to commit these hazardous crimes. I wish they would tell us where to go and to do those crimes. I've always wanted to be in a race, like a high-speed race. It seems like it just gets your blood pumping in a way that, nothing else will. There's something crazy about, traveling. It's like sometimes I'll be coming home from work, and my work is like almost a straight shot on the highway, 30 minutes or whatever. So there's something crazy about being on the highway for, you're shooting down the highway at 80 miles per hour. And I'm almost falling asleep. Like, it's early in the morning, I'm falling asleep. And then you remind yourself, I'm in a giant metal vehicle traveling at 80 miles per hour. If I fall asleep and run into an embankment, I am dead. Like, almost instantly dead. There's something exciting about that. So, and it's crazy that your mind can, your brain can be so accustomed to driving that it totally fails on you when you're driving. It's like, yeah, we're falling asleep now. It's bedtime now, and you're just like falling asleep while driving like 70 miles per hour. Our evolution is not accounted for driving yet. But yeah, no, happy Mother's Day. I hope everyone out there who has mothers, I hope you wish them a happy Mother's Day. If you don't have a mother, maybe you are a mother, or maybe you are married to a mother, or maybe you know a mother. So wish them all a happy Mother's Day. They, the work they put in to keep their children from becoming mass shooters is valuable to our society. So shout out to them. Shout out all the mothers out there. Let's see. Let's continue with the news here. Like I said, this is not a very big news. Did I say that? Did I say that this was a big news day or no? This isn't a big news week. So, am I going to play this in between each one? I guess I am. News. The news. All right. No, I'm not going to play this between everyone. That's so stupid. Okay. The debt ceiling. Doom, doom, doom. This is the debt ceiling in a nutshell. So you may have heard this. I heard people talking about this in the office. Oh no, the sky's falling. It's the debt ceiling. Oh no, the United States is reaching the debt ceiling. Okay. First off, have I talked about this before? And second off, I believe that money is fake and that this will resolve itself in a matter of days. Essentially, it's not if it gets resolved, it's when and what sort of tricks. Apparently, the Republican Party is trying to like shoehorn in a bunch of needless stuff into the bill for raising the debt ceiling. Dude, I wish I could get a bill to raise my school loan debt ceiling. We are playing. I did talk about this before because I said that we are playing at a casino with an open credit, with like a free line of credit from a casino. That is our government. But there's so apparently the deal is supposed to happen this week. Let's see what these people have to say about it.
Joining me now from Seattle, Washington is Jeff
Joining me now from Seattle, Washington,
Tucker, senior economist at Zillow. Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks for having me on.
So President Biden met with congressional leaders Tuesday in an effort to prevent this country defaulting on its national debt.
Dude, imagine a country defaulting on its national debt. That is sad. Like, what happens when a country declares bankruptcy? They're like, oh yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't pay anything that we owe, and actually we owe so much money that it's there's not enough money in the whole universe to pay this. I think our last hope is to like commandeer an asteroid. Like, they say that there's asteroids that are full of diamonds and, like, made of gold. There's, like, these beautiful asteroids flying through the sky. Our last hope is that one of those flies close to the Earth, whatever, and we get up on a spaceship. We land on them somehow. Miraculously, we land on them. We start piling the diamonds and the gold, and we take them back to Earth, and then we become rich again. That is the last hope. We've ran out of any sort of money in our country. Our country, if you think about the country as a business, what we make is war. Our main commodity seems to be aggression and blowing up and carpet bombing and blowing up schools and hospitals. We're in the middle of like a 1 year long proxy war with Russia through the Ukraine. That's pretty much what a proxy was. So I was looking this up, and I was curious about what a proxy war means. So now I use it, acting like I'm smart. But a proxy war is essentially we're in a war with Russia by proxy is what that means. So Ukraine is sort of we're the players. Ukraine are just like the pieces, right? We're like, okay, yeah, Ukraine, good luck on your war, but it's really our war because we're trying to weaken Russia. Um, and it's been going on way too long. I don't need to talk more about the Ukraine-Russian war. Who wants to hear more about the Ukraine-Russia war? Hey, Mark, put down in the comments if you're tired of the Ukraine-Russian war, and I'll stop talking about it. I like I really don't care anymore. Like, oh man, I am pretty drunk. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so these are my thoughts. When it comes to the Russian-Ukraine war, I think that America should disinvolve itself and try to broker peace from the outside. Stop sending money. Stop bankrupting our country. If they fall on their own. It's sad. Yes, it's sad. We got to stop. Is my main point. And really, I don't care anymore, to be honest. So, also some good news, though. Also some good news. Back on the menu is child labor. Child labor is back, and it's better than ever. McDonald's franchisees with workers as young as 10 years old. I mean, dude, this cat is in the foreground of this. Excuse me? This is just video of McDonald's. In Louisville, 2 10-year-olds are among 300 children who worked at McDonald's restaurants illegally, a Labor Department investigation of franchisees in Kentucky found. Agency investigators found the 10-year-olds received little or no pay from McDonald's in Louisville. Awesome. Child slavery. So we are in a good spot. This country is in a healthy position. The children are coming back from middle school. They're learning how to do cursive. This is what I was doing in middle school. I would sit in class. We would go over our multiplication tables, and before we left the class, our teacher would give us a random, so we're sitting in class and we're going over our multiplication, and then the recess bell rings. Recess. It's time for recess. My middle school teacher, my 4th grade teacher, his name was Mr. I guess I don't want to say his name. He would stand at the door at the exit, and he would ask us. He would give us a random multiplication table, and we weren't allowed to leave until we got it right. So he would be like, "All right, what's 12 times 12? Oh, that's easy. That's 144. Okay, you're good to go." And he would do this. What's 3 times 3? Okay, 9. Go. And then the kids would slowly get out. Then we would come back and we would read a chapter of The Hatchet by Paul whatever, Greg Paulson or whatever the hell, Gary Paulson, I think. That was fun. And I remember my 4th grade teacher would always read with a note card. He would read line by line with a note card very steadily. And then, I would play Yu-Gi-Oh cards with my friend Jeff behind the in the shade at recess. These were fun things. I was 10 years old. I remember these things vividly. Now, kids nowadays are doing all those things, but when the bell rings at the end of the day, they are in Kentucky. They are leaving, and they are going to a shift at McDonald's. Oh God, dude! This country is in bad shape. It's in complete disarray. Child labor is back in full force. we are on the brink of defaulting on all of our money that we owe. I don't know if our country has any money. We're on the brink of some sort of maybe a economic collapse, unlike any we've seen before. With COVID and now the Ukraine war, we have given away so much money, so much money. We are hurtling towards a doomsday, and I couldn't be more thrilled, to be honest. I couldn't be more thrilled because when your future is super grim, and I don't know. I don't want to speak for Gen Z. I don't want to be the Lorax, and I speak for the trees. I don't speak for Gen Z, right? But Gen Z's future isn't very bright. It costs $400,000 to buy a home in I think in most parts of the country that are worth living. Okay, let me preface this by in most parts of the country that are worth living in. We're not talking about freaking coon's skin, Raccoonville, Missouri, wherever. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about, I'm sure that's a place. I didn't mean to be racist, but I'm not talking about I'm talking about places that are worth living, that have a population, that have jobs, for one, where you're not living off the trees. The average home price is almost unattainable. It's probably like $400,000. God forbid you want to live in a place that actually exists. Then you're looking at 500 grand, $500,000. It's just, I mean, the future for Gen Z is so grim. It's the prospect of a nuclear disaster seems almost about equal about what our future is like. Okay, do I want to work until I'm 98 years old, or do I want to have every country get nuked and humans be reverted to their most animal instincts? I mean, is that hard of a choice? Is it that hard of a choice? Oh, goddamn, my cat's moving again. That's Caesar salad, the fat ass of the family. So we're on the brink everywhere. It's prospects are not good, but for some reason I'm optimistic about our future. I really am, and it might not sound like it, but I am optimistic. I think that if America gets nuked, then, refugees will be able to flee to other countries or whatever. America will be invaded probably, but the bright side of all this is that we'll still have. I don't know if America would be nuked. I guess it would probably be if America nuked someone, because we probably would not be nuked, but it would start some sort of situation that you don't want to be a part of. Yeah, I don't know. I'm optimistic. I don't think that it's gonna. I mean, granted, I'm not fully optimistic about the state of the world here. We're still in a pretty rough spot where owning anything is nearly impossible. But maybe I'm not optimistic. As I talk about this, I'm not optimistic actually. But I am happy that kids are getting out there working, because the kids and child labor is the backbone of America, or it will be soon. So we need to embrace it and embrace it now. It's always kind of been cheap slave labor and slave labor adjacent has always kind of been the backbone of America. actual slaves. Um, and then once they got freed, everyone's like, well, now what do we do? And then they're like, oh, what's the next best thing? Okay, how about we get actual children? Okay, bingo. Now we've got 3-year-olds sweeping chimneys. Awesome. Next best thing. And then people stepped in and they're like, okay, well, maybe we can't with the children. And then they're like, okay, what's the next best thing? So it goes slaves, so African Americans, children. What's the next best thing? Okay, now we're at war. All the men are gone. Who's gonna do all the labor? Women. Women get out of the kitchen and get into the mines. Come into the mines, start mining steel, start crafting cars. Rosie the Riveter. God, she's such a badass symbol. You just see that arm and you're like, that's a one propaganda woman that I want to be. I want to be a working woman. So now they're out there on the field. Now we're back. Now we are back. And better than ever. 10-year-olds out there working full shifts at McDonald's. Who are their parents? Do their parents care? Their parents probably honestly told them to. The parents are like, hey, our rent just tripled because so BlackRock bought every house in our area. Our rent is tripled. So yeah, now you got to start pulling your rate, little Timmy. Hey, little Timmy. Hey, 10-year-old Timmy. I hope you had a good time coloring today in middle school. Hey, it's time to get out to the fields. The kids. I saw a tweet. Someone said, I don't know if the tweet was about this, but they're like, you know how kids love Minecraft? Kids are mining all day long. Kids yearn for the mines. They yearn for the mines. They want to be in the mines doing hardcore labor. And putting them in McDonald's is a close second. They'll settle for that. So the more kids that you can get not biking around, you don't want them biking in with their other friends. You don't want them online. God forbid they get online. You know, find something more productive to do with your children, and child labor just might be that. So that's for all the moms out there. That's a little Mother's Day treat for you guys. Put your kid in a labor situation, preferably hard labor, and it'll teach them lessons that will be valuable in the future. And this is some more of my optimism coming out, but they'll need to be hard. Like, okay, stop, pause, rewind. They need to be hard end and like ready for work. When the world collapses, they need to be ready. They got soft hands. Your kid has soft hands. Your kid has soft hands. That's not a working man's hand. You know, you gotta have calluses by 12. You gotta have hardcore working you gotta have grease burns on your hand. I remember when I worked at Steak and Shake. It's like In and Out or whatever. It's like Five Guys. I would come home and I would smell like grease, but I would have like burns on all the tips of my fingers because when you put the buns down, sometimes you wear these huge oversized plastic gloves, and it's so hard to hold anything. And then so occasionally you would like burn each tip of your finger, and the skin would kind of meld with the like if you worked long enough, the big glove would kind of become molded to your hand. And that was really nice when you're like, okay, now I can actually be efficient because my skin is melting into this plastic. And you would be like, a 10-year-old sweating over a open grease pit is something that is a good omen. It is a good omen is all I'm trying. In conclusion, country's doing great. So yeah, child labor. Ooh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hey, So Las Vegas, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Actually, I wanted to talk about this a while back, but I did read that book, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, by what's his name? I have it over there. It's Hunter S. Thompson. Hunter S. Thompson. He's a guerrilla. Oh no, wait, no. What is it called? He's a journalist. He created some. Yeah, I learned a little bit about it, and I'm a little out of it right now, but it was a pretty good book. But it's about like this dude who is Hunter S. Thompson, who goes to Las Vegas and search for the American dream, and the American dream turns out to be just lots and lots of illegal substances, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. That and ripping people off. It's just a series of him spending credit from like stealing other people's credit cards. So he pays for everything with either the company that he's working with or other people's stolen credit cards. Doesn't pay for a thing on his own. Stocks up his truck with copious amounts of drugs and drives off into the desert in search of the American dream. That's how the book starts. And in between that and the end is just psychedelic trips. So if that sounds like the book that you want, go grab it. It's actually a pretty fun read. It's pretty funny. There's a scene when he's with his lawyer. His lawyer comes with him to make sure he doesn't get into any trouble. His lawyer's on like I forgot what it is. It's like it's called ether. I don't know. It's ether or something, but you inhale it or whatever, and his lawyer's floating around in the bathtub, and he's flooded like almost the whole bathroom, and he's like, "I want you to kill me, Hunter S. Thompson. I want you to kill me." And so he says, "Grab that radio." He's like, "Grab that radio, and on the count of 3, I want you to kill me, and I'll reach the ultimate high." And Hunter S. Thompson, he's like, "Okay." So he grabs the radio, he holds it up, and he's like, "All right, now 3, 2, 1," and he throws. And instead of the radio, he throws a pomegranate or no, he throws a grapefruit into the water, and the guy's like, like he's being electrocuted, and he gets super pissed, and he follows him around with a knife. It's a funny story with funny kooky tales. A lot of the trips, I mean, you can tell Hunter S. Thompson was a drug maniac. He did every single drug in the book, and he was always high, pretty much always. So a lot of it is I think, I mean, he was, it's called Gonzo. So he was a Gonzo journalist, and it's a good book. I didn't want to really go into all that. I gave it a pretty good rating. I think it was like an 8 out of 10. It didn't really have a plot or anything, but it was a good read. But this news headline from yesterday really piqued my interest. Las Vegas judge sentences speeding woman on cocaine who killed drunk driver high on meth.
The influence of cocaine killing another driver was sentenced to probation. The crash happened back in January of 2022. Summer Butler pled guilty to charges of reckless driving and DUI a little earlier this year. She was sentenced today to 3 years probation.
Dude, that is great. I mean, so as a judge, how do you decide this? So a woman who drove under the influence of cocaine and alcohol killed another driver who was under the influence of alcohol and meth. So it's like, so what's worse? So you have to do like
15-year-old Robert Farabee.
So you have to do some crazy math here. So cocaine plus alcohol and alive is less than meth, alcohol, and dead. So you can start piecing together as a judge probably an interesting kind of flow chart of of course, if you are fully straight, or fully got your head on right, fully sober, and you kill someone, that's the biggest offense. All the way at the bottom is probably cocaine, alcohol, meth. Kill someone, you're barely lucid. It's not really even you. That would be my argument as a lawyer. Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, okay? And then the whole jury kind of looks around and they're like, well, I mean, he has a good point. He has a damn good point. But yeah, I feel bad that an alcoholic meth head died, but alcoholic coke head killed him. Summer Butler, 39, pled guilty earlier this year. Okay. Jesus Christ, that's a horrible crash. This looks like an ad for T-Mobile. The T-Mobile thing right there. Nearly 2 weeks after the crash, blood tests confirmed Butler was on cocaine, cannabinoids in her system. Okay, so not only high on cocaine, high on weed, and high on alcohol. She was Hunter S. Thompson. That's sick. That's badass. She's living the American dream. Although Hunter S. Thompson never got caught, but all right, let's do one more. Oh yeah, this is the so today is the 38-year anniversary of the time Philadelphia bombed their own citizens. I learned about this today. Pretty interesting stuff. I'll just let the video play. And if you're new here, we do go into a little bit of the conspiracy stuff because I'm into it. And look, I say conspiracy because that's this type of stuff is like, no, the government would never bomb their own civilians. Okay?
Update on a story Democracy Now! Has followed for years. This past Saturday, May 13th, marked the 38th anniversary of the day the city of Philadelphia bombed its own citizens.
That's
on that
sick.
day in 1985, police surrounded the home of MOVE, a black radical liberation organization that was defying orders to vacate. Police flooded the home with water, filled the house with tear gas, and blasted the house with automatic weapons, all failing to dislodge the residents. Finally, police dropped a bomb on the house from a helicopter.
Jesus.
11 people were killed, 6 adults and 5 children. The fire burned an entire city block to the ground, destroying over 60 homes. This is how the bombing was initially reported in Philadelphia on WCAU TV.
I've just been advised that we have new videotape of the episode that apparently ended, we think ended, the MOVE situation tonight. The dropping of an incendiary device. And let's take a careful look at this, 5:27 p.m.
Dude, what is this? The dropping of an incendiary device. The city of Philadelphia dropped a bomb on its own civilians. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy.
State police helicopter drops it. There is the explosion.
Jesus.
As you can see, a very dramatic explosion that occurs 30 seconds and really rips into the MOVE compound. There you see the bunker, which soon will go up in flames. And that was the explosion close up. Now, if there's anybody there, standing there, it's obvious they couldn't survive that explosion.
So apparently this whole, and the story gets a little bit crazier. So 11 people were killed, 5 of which were kids, 6 of which were adults. They were part of a movement called MOVE. Not sure what their deal was. People, I guess they were considered a terrorist organization. I'm not too sure about that, but they were bombed. One of the ladies survived the bombing. They all got arrested. She gave birth in prison, and the dude who was born is now 38, and he is buying back that house that was bombed. It is crazy. So he just put a down payment on it, and he's waiting to buy it. It is a crazy story, but so I mean, I hope he gets it. It's like $300,000, which, I mean, that's pretty cheap for a home. Although Philadelphia ain't the best place to live. All right, let's get into TikTok time. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Absolutely not. Okay. Oh, here it is. Is this the one? No, that's the end. Nope. One of these is TikToks. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, we're a real professional. We run a tight ship. There we go. Getting into TikTok time. Let's pull these bad boys up. All right, here we go. So we've got nutrient sludge.
Today for school lunch?
This is diabolical. If this is a lady's meal for her kids. And this is truly this is dystopian food. She is making a meal for her kids, and the entire meal consists mostly of sludge, like tubes of gelatin.
I sent my daughter a delicious peanut butter sandwich. On the side, I send her some baby carrots, and of course I sent her some grapes because I am trying to keep this girl nice and healthy. I also sent her an applesauce because she loves applesauce, so she's going to be really excited about this one.
Jesus.
And I sent her a juice box. Now, normally I don't send her juice boxes just because they're so bad for your teeth, but today I thought I'd treat her. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Follow for
I mean, I really hope that this is fake, but I really don't know. For the listener, each part of what she was pouring out is just a tube, like filled with like a gelatin form of whatever she's eating. It is it's truly I mean it honestly, you better hope it looks good because that's what we're going to be eating soon.
more.
Cooking Every Day is her name on TikTok. So not much cooking in that video, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, this is so funny. This is Mark Wahlberg.
All this design that got me drip.
Mark Wahlberg has completely lost it. Mark Wahlberg has turned into like, I don't know, for some reason there was always this guy at school. Like I don't know if this was only at my school, but it was like a completely dude who's just a white dude who always dressed like he wanted to be like a gangster, right? Like there was this guy, he looked like young Sheldon. I think his name was Brian too. Like it's like, and he dressed like he looked like young Sheldon, and he wore baggy jeans. Okay, my cats are fighting. Stop. Leave. Jesus. Disruption of the show. His name was Brian. He looked like young Sheldon, and he wore baggy pants. No, not even baggy pants. He wore tight jeans, but he would sag them so they would look baggy. Like they would be bunched up around his ankles, and and you would see his whitey tighties. The dude, it was crazy, and he would wear these huge hoodies. That's what Mark Wahlberg has become. Mark Wahlberg has become Brian from 3rd grade. So here he is, showing off his drip.
All this design that got me drip. Straight up out the. Ooh, wow. This is just that part. That part.
Mark Wahlberg has lost. I want to see if there's more videos of him showing off his drip. Let's see. Marky Mark. Mark Wahlberg drip. Showing off that drip. Here's that video. Here's another one. Showing off his whole wardrobe. All this designer got me drip drip. Jesus.
What?
Why is he? Why has he become, dude? That part. That part. I guess that's the only video. I've seen more videos, but I don't know why that's the only one. Oh, here's his Super Bowl trip. Christ almighty. Oh, I guess he owns that company. So I guess his company is Municipal, which sounds like a brand that you're given in prison. You know, like they make clothes only for people who are you buy. Municipal sounds like a company that you can buy with cigarettes. You can buy those clothes with cigarettes, and now Mark Wahlberg is dripping in it.
All this designer got me drip.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg.
Straight up out the. Ooh.
Straight
Wow.
up out the. Whoa.
This is just that part.
That part.
That part.
I mean, he's so funny. He is like maybe one of the whitest people in all of Hollywood. And he's flexing his new drip. So, all right, we'll play one more video. This is, I've actually shown a clip of this guy before, a while back, but he has gotten so. This is like the TikTok effect. Slowly, they learn, like the people learn what videos get the most views and why people watch the videos. I guess he figured out that the reason people watch his videos is because he's extremely unhinged. He's a designer. He makes all of his own clothes. He's a professional tailor out of like probably Europe or something. He makes suits, like business suits. They probably cost a fortune, all handmade, all hand stitched. But the people that come to him, it's just it's unbelievably uncomfortable. So here's a collage of some of his most famous ones.
These shot.
I mean, this guy's so good. It never fails to make me laugh. This guy.
Gun wedding suit because he impregnated his wife. Look at this pasty English boy. Incredible night I had
I
with
mean, what?
Sir Les Ferdinand.
Action. I'm with your favorite.
I have a very sleazy and oily Mexican here. Asian girl
what?
is who we are going to call today. Do you? A little bit of Pakistani takeaway. I cannot get it up for this guy. Too white, too fat, too old.
I mean, there's no way that he gets their consent before he starts roasting the shit out of these people. I mean, I love this guy. Don't get me wrong. He's funny. Too white, too fat, too old.
Away. I cannot get it up for this guy. Too white.
So this guy, he thought he was just buying a suit. Now he's getting roasted.
Too fat, too old. I will do 2 Chinese girls at the same time. I am going to eat this little Chinese boy. How old are you?
I mean, come on, man. I'm going to eat this little Chinese boy. Okay. All right. Well, that's all the show that we had today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please share with a friend. If you didn't, please let me know down in the comments. No matter how much you hate it, trust me, I can handle the hate. So we'll be going live with a new episode next week on the regular Tuesdays. This one was a little bit late. Sorry about that. But besides that, thank you for listening. Bye. Bye-bye.